We're down South by Southwest 2013, live from Austin, Texas at Hotel San Jose. It's Russ Borris here with Matthew from Phosphorescent. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
It's very good to see you.
You too.
Got a great new record and called Muchacho. You want to talk a little bit about the recording of the new album?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, how'd you sort of write, come to these songs? A lot of them feel kind of like, take a song for Zula, for instance, has a sort of ethereal quality to it, sort of this ambient, vibe. I've heard it described as almost like one of those classic U2 ballads almost. I don't know if you're writing the song, you're thinking, let me see if I can do with it,
right,
without, with or without you.
No,
but
this was that was just like an effect of I got some old analog gear, like a really kind of rickety old mixing board, and some tape echo, and some delay stuff, and really just kind of like had the luxury of time in between this record and the one before it, to just kind of mess around in the studio, and it's purely a product of just experimenting in the studio and playing with these old loops and stuff. And like, really,
is that different than you've gone about things before? Have you been under time constraints in recording?
Yeah. Well, somehow there just seemed to be there's a little, time was a little more a luxury than on past times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a warmth to this one that I'm sure,
Yeah,
throwing the analog in there, I'm sure is a help.
It helps a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So there wasn't.
Yeah, thank you.
It wasn't as though you had some specific thought in mind. It just kind of grew from the experimentation.
Well, that song in particular, yeah. But the whole sound of the record, I think, was definitely like. I produced them as well and engineered and all that. So it's like a lot of just like I've just gotten better, I think, at doing that, at the act of mixing and just the technical aspects of that stuff. You can't help but learn it over the years. Doing
Is that something that you've just always felt like you had to do, kind of handle the own producing?
Yeah, but I kind of realized actually at the start of this record, I went into Electric Lady Studios in New York.
Sure. Great spot. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it's legendary. And I went in there for 3 days and was kind of feeling it out to see if maybe I would make the record there. And I really thought I would for a minute, but then I realized that it's like I'm just not that organized. It turns out, like to have the day booked and go in there and do it right then is I just couldn't work that way. I'm just I tend to like spend 10 hours just like lolling about, playing with things until you finally hit record. You know what I mean?
That's how the songs come together for you.
For me, yeah. The working process is a lot of just goofing off, sort of. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't get to work till really late at night generally. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's sort of the beauty of it is just the discovery of where it's going to be.
Exactly.
Where it's going to end up.
Yeah, and that that freedom is like. So yeah, I didn't really intend to like produce these records and make them all myself. I'd love to do them at a studio. It just tends to be a byproduct of how I work best.
Now, do you find time that you're working with other artists too as a producer? Is that something?
I would love to do that, but yeah, I think I will probably. But just I haven't done a whole lot of that yet.
Right. Yeah. It's your gig in your scene right now, trying to get that together.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we're down here at the hotbed of some pretty significant live music all week long down at South by Southwest. If you think back, growing up listening to music, what was the first live concert you saw?
First live concert would probably be, oh man, I have no idea. Probably maybe Reba McEntire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Going back to Reba.
Yeah,
nice. Early days.
Probably so, yeah.
Very nice. Very cool. It's good to see you, man. Thank you very much for coming.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Matthew from Phosphorescent as we're down live from Austin, Texas at Hotel San Jose, South by Southwest 2013.